Wrapping other shapes. Some items that you have are not going to be quite box-shaped or quite flat. If you take this here, it's a little bit dimensional at the bottom, but pretty flat at the top, so you can't quite use either technique all the way through. However, we will be able to use a combination of the box and flat wrapping for this. So, let's do it. I happen to have this paper left over from the last project, and it's about the right size. Again, we want, for the box type wrapping, about the height of the bottom here, and we want just a couple inches on the top. So this is going to work out just fine. We're going to flip it over onto the back, which will do two things. First off, it'll put this overlap on the back, which will be much nicer to look at. But also when we get to the front, it'll be one smooth shape because we can have all the weird stretching parts go on the back here. So we're just checking the height here and checking where the edge is going to be. This should be about fine. Now it's important to get the centering on before we do too much on this because since it's at a weird angle on the side, we can't actually adjust it nearly as much as we normally do. Let's do the top here first. So I found the edge, did a little crease, just like we did in the last video on flat wrapping. Now we're going to turn these corners into triangles, and then we're going to flip over the edge. Again, we don't need to go all the way down to that line because we need to leave a little space for this dimension that is there. Now there was a little bit of a gap here, and there still is a little bit of a gap here. We can deal with that by pulling that in a little bit to the top, or we can just kind of leave it like this. It's up to you with what you think is going to be good enough for your wrapping. Another thing that might work with this better is if we use a longer piece of tape here. See, now that lies flat. Now at the bottom, we're going to do it like we did with the box wrapping. We're going to use method B because this is a little bit of a weird shape at the bottom. You can see it's not really a good box shape, so we don't have a nice defined edge on the top and bottom there. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the sides and just kind of treat it like it was a box here. So we're just going to push the edge in, and then we're going to get the beginning of these triangles on the top and the bottom. And since this wasn't actually a box shape, we are not going to get the nice 45-degree angles like we did on the box. Taking this corner, folding it down. It's a little bit long, but that's going to be okay. Take the bottom side, fold that up. I'm going to fold it over just so it looks a little bit nicer. Take your tape, put it on the flap, and there we go. It's not perfect because it's a really weird shape, but this will do the job.